Farmer Mike, live from the #1 urban farm in America, Ophelia's Blue Vine Farm in the Jazz District, where it lives with another impromptu masterclass. But before I go in, don't forget to stop by my world famous YouTube channel, Ophelia's Blue Vine Farm on YouTube, Ophelia's Blue Vine Farm on YouTube. Over 576 videos, all dedicated to urban farming, including Pablo, the farm cat, was catnapped, but Farmer Mike got him back with the help of his tracker. Check out that episode on the YouTube channel, Ophelia's Blue Vine Farm. Pablo, the Vine Street farm cat. So today's live masterclass is called Why I Will Never Buy Landscaping Fabric Again. Masterclass, landscape fabric. Hopefully someone will hop on the live. This is not a pre-recorded, edited video, live right now on the Vine. Farmer Mike, right there. Farmer Mike, live on the Vine. And right down there, we're in the Jazz District. Kansas City Jazz, improvisational jazz, bebop, our gift to the world. And here we are at our urban farm, Ophelia's Blue Vine Farm. Check out our website, opheliasbluevinefarm.com, and check out the Freedom 3 and the Freedom Dozen. Those are our exclusive line of Vine Street fresh organic eggs, premium hens. The pampered hens are back there, bundled up for the night. Let's get in this masterclass, Why I Will Never Buy Landscape Fabric Again. Now, landscape fabric, of course, you think it's a cheat code, but in actuality, it causes more problems than it solves. Landscape fabric, you know, that fabric that you get for about maybe $20 a roll. Some of it is a little bit more expensive. The more heavy dutier is probably $80 a roll. Maybe now it's $120, $130 a roll. And you know, you're going to get it and you're going to put it down and cover it with rocks and weeds. You'll never have to worry about weeds again. Wrong! Come on over here and I'll show you an example. Jeff Goldblum says, nature finds. Hey, oh, they love us out here. Nature will find a way. And let's see. Okay, so let me pan down here. Oh, and what do we have here? Oh, it's grass, but believe it or not, underneath this, look at this. Underneath this is landscape fabric. Weeds are growing on the landscape fabric. Pablo, can you believe it? Oh, Pablo can't even believe it. Yes, landscape fabric. Look at that. And I'm not a fan because as time goes on, this breaks. And this is just really, it's terrible for the environment. This fabric, if it gets caught up in your tiller, it is a pain and it's going to break out everywhere and go everywhere. And also, mice, rats, things can hide underneath this, and they'll take this and they'll nibble this and take this all to their nest. And they're going to use this to get through the winter. It's going to basically be bad for the soil, the biology, the worms and the things under in here. Okay, and this right here is a problem also because when you put two pieces together, it creates a seam. Okay, and a weed seed. So these are weeds. These are really aggressive weeds, and the weed seed will find its way in there. Okay, and eventually it'll bust through this like I did right there. Okay, and it'll go to the ground and it'll anchor. And when you try to pull this up, it's going to weigh. It's going to be very heavy. It's going to weigh hundreds and hundreds of pounds. Okay, and look at this. Okay, so as people, your neighbors and whatnot, as they cut their grass, okay, those fine particles, some of them are brought in from the wind, okay, will land on top of your shiny. So your landscape fabric will start like this the first year. And then over time, a bird will come and drop something. Pablo the farm cat will come and he'll drop something. And your neighbor will mow the grass and all those leaves and stuff will go on top of there. Okay? And that is all it takes, ladies and gentlemen, for all of this to grow. Let's come down here. I know it's getting dark. Excuse me. I know it's getting dark. Let's see. We come down here, and really, that's all it takes. And look at this. Look at this right here. Watch out, Pablo. Okay, and look at that. Look at this weed growing right there on top. Hey, Pablo, on top of the landscape fabric. Right on top of the landscape fabric. Not a big fan of that. Okay, Farmer Mike. So what are the alternatives, Farmer Mike? Well, I'm glad you asked. Still no one on the live. We're connected to 147 million people. We have no one watching. The algorithm doesn't want you to know this, okay? True self-sufficiency is freedom. Let's go back into it. What's the alternatives? Alternatives. Farmer Mike, live, Vine Street Masterclass. Okay, check it out. So one thing we use landscape fabric for is we like to prevent weed growth, suppression. We also like to keep in moisture. We can use it to keep in moisture in the plants that we plant into it. But what if I told you we can do that with decorative grass? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, over here, right by the landscape fabric, I've laid down at the end of the season. Look at this very long decorative grass, okay? And look here, we have no weed problem. And not only that, okay, it gets water, it gets air, plenty of life in this soil. I'm gonna just scoop a handful, okay? And let's bring it into the light. Let's bring it into the light so you can really see what we're doing here. Really see. And look at that. And look at that. Look at that. Okay? And so what that did was it held the water throughout the heat of the summer, okay? And it released it as time went by, okay? And look at that soil. Isn't that just amazing and jumping with life? So, what do we learn? Well, we learned that you don't have to use landscape fabric to have a weed-free garden. You don't have to spend all that money. You can do it for pennies. In fact, Farmer Mike can show you how to do it for free. And that is self-sufficiency. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. Again, Farmer Mike's free educational masterclass. Show you why I'll never use landscape fabric again. Okay? Never use that again. It's a big mess right there. We're going to do it with grass. You can keep the weeds out. You can also use it to hold in moisture. You don't have to. Shut up, Earl! I'm trying to do the video. You don't have to buy landscape fabric again. Over the years, we spent thousands of dollars on landscape fabric. Thousands of dollars on landscape fabric. Farmer Mike here is to tell you that you don't need to use it. You don't need to use it. I think really the only real reason at the farm, the only one place we have landscape fabric is inside this is the main greenhouse right here, and that's just that is a heavier, dutier landscape fabric, and that is just sits on top of the coolers. So when the product comes out of the field, comes out from the greenhouse, it go right into the cooler and stay about 4 weeks fresher than anything you can get in the store. And so we just have maybe 30 feet by 70 feet of a heavy duty landscape fabric, just as the walking path inside the greenhouse. Outside the greenhouse, you don't need it. In fact, eventually we will take that out and we'll get, hopefully we can get some original Vine Street bricks. And I'm going to do that 30 feet and that whole path with the historic bricks that have come out of some of the buildings that have been demolished over the years, some of the historic buildings down here on Vine Street. So that is the plan. We're going to stick to the plan. We're behind on the plan, but the plan is the plan. The plan doesn't change. That's the vision. It's going to look dope. It's going to take some money. It's going to take some time. But how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Farmer Mike, live from the #1 urban farm in America, Ophelia Move On Farm in the Jazz District where it lives. I hope you enjoyed this free master class. It's getting windy. It's getting windy. I'm out here with Pablo. And I don't know, Pablo. I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. Pablo's eating this. He's eating his Friskies. I hope you enjoyed this free master class. And I don't ever want to catch you buying landscape fabric. See you in the next video.